Hello everyone, welcome to Durrett's Take. Let's get started. I hope you had a good week so far. It's been pretty good for me. Got to see some more March Madness, if you will. Um, so here are a couple of takeaways from the weekend and the past two Elite Eight games. I was sad that Oral Roberts, didn't win that game against Arkansas. That would have been another cool run. Although I would have wanted them to lose against Baylor. Um, and then Arkansas lost to them anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But I thought it was a good, nice run by Oral Roberts. Um, Oregon State's a 12 seed getting to the Elite Eight, and then after being down by a lot, making the close piece at the end, that was pretty impressive. They had a good run for a team that was not going to make the tournament, had to win their conference tournament. And then UCLA, I mean, first four team in, goes all the way to the Final Four. Last time that happened was with VCU back in 2011, or yeah, 11 I believe. So it hasn't happened a lot. So it's pretty impressive. Now they have to face the best team in Gonzaga. So and I truly feel like this is where their magical run will end. I thought against Michigan, Alabama, but like this one, it's like this will for sure. And UCLA's run to the Final Four, which again, it's a good accomplishment. To go all the way to the Final Four when we're supposed to. I mean, it's a good thing. It's a confidence builder, program builder for next year, type of thing. So UCLA would definitely be a powerhouse in the long haul, type of thing. So now as for the final four teams go, you got Gonzaga, UCLA, then Baylor, Houston. So this is interesting. So I feel like Houston. I like Houston's match. I like Houston to be matchup against Baylor because they're physical, deep play defense. Like I feel like that's going to be a one of those ugly, low scoring games type of thing. And it'll be close. I feel like, but I do feel like Baylor will pull it out in the end now. And then Gonzaga, I have Gonzaga actually beating UCLA by double digits. I don't think it'd be that particularly close. Maybe for a half, maybe for some parts it'll be close, but like by the end score, I feel like it won't be close. So then that way we get a Gonzaga Baylor matchup in the Final Four, which I predicted. So that would be cool if that happens. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to this weekend with the Final Four and see what happens there. Now, some other basketball topics regarding the NBA I want to talk about. Let's start off with a couple days ago, LaMarcus Aldridge signed with the Nets. Again, the Nets refusing to sign good defensive players and just using up the former All Stars. All they have left on the table, getting them on a cheap deal, using them up to produce off the bench. This is starting to bother me. The Harden trade was one thing because yeah, three superstars is pretty hard to deal with, but they didn't have that, and their starting five in general was good, but they didn't have that much of a bench. So therefore, I was like, okay, well that could be the reason why they don't want to ship type of thing. But now their bench is loaded, so it's like besides the big three, you have DeAndre Jordan and Joe Harris to round out your starting five, but then you got LaMarcus Aldridge, Jeff Green, Blake Griffin, Landry Shamet, who's currently injured right now, but he should be back. And then Dinwiddie, I mean, he's out for the season, but if he didn't get injured again, it's another piece of the puzzle there. And then they got some other good young players like Bruce Brown, that French player I really like. So they have very good pieces there, again offensively. Um, but it's just interesting because Brooklyn observed what Miami was doing at the trading deadline and said, "That's cute. We're going to get another former All Star and another offensive player, and let's see you try to stop us now with your precious defense." Now, LaMarcus Aldridge, again, he's inconsistent. He does not play defense. He's a 10.5 rebound, I feel like, off the bench at this point in his career, which is not bad, but obviously not what he once was. Also, he doesn't care to shoot threes, which I know Steve Nash and D'Antoni, like, they like to shoot threes, so I'm not sure if they care for that. So the minutes will be interesting here, but again, I just don't like it. I don't mind when teams are trying to be aggressive. Don't get me wrong there. I don't mind when they're trying to be aggressive because sometimes you have to be aggressive. But it was like when Katie went to Golden State. There needs to be parity in sports, parity in basketball. You can be the favorite, but don't make yourself the overwhelming favorite. The league was way boring when KD was on the Warriors. The only time it was not interesting is when Houston pushed them 7 games in the Western Conference Finals, and then for some reason the Clippers pushed them in 6 games in the very first round. Other than that, and you can say the finals, but it's like what? Like KD, the KD Warriors, what 8-1 in the finals. They won 4-1 against LeBron the first time, and then swept LeBron the second time when he was with a weaker team. Like we knew who was going to win that. Look what's going on with March Madness right now. Upsets galore. Um, UCLA is in the Final Four. Like you just yeah, let's say Gonzaga or Baylor win it. Yeah, the favorite. Yeah, one of the two favorites end up winning it. But that was a very different journey throughout this March Madness that we thought was going to happen. So there was therefore parity. And again, technically, like, Baylor could get upset by Houston, or Gonzaga technically could get upset by UCLA. But um, just to just ima- just imagine if all one seeds made the Final Four. Imagine how boring that would be. That'd be very boring. It's it was nice while Miami was the favorite with LeBron that he in the finals only went 2-2, um, and should have been 1-3, as we know. Because you have to admit, watching the Mavs, LeBron beat. You have to admit, watching the Mavs beat LeBron in 6 games, that was fun. That was not boring. Um, you have to admit it brought a little bit of juice to the league, if you will, before that lockout and all that, because that's the time that happened. But KD with the Warriors did not bring that much excitement, unless obviously you're a KD fan or Steph fan or Warriors fan or whatever. Um, but before the season started, the Lakers were the favorites to repeat, not disputing that. But they were not the overwhelming favorites per se. Yeah, because not a lot of people want to doubt LeBron, so that's why it's favorites, and they just won. But again, like, we didn't consider the overwhelming favorites. And then Brooklyn, when they got hard and all that, we consider them obviously favorites. But again, it's like, well, no, it could be Lakers, they're not overwhelming favorites. Um, uh, but now it's just like they're becoming overwhelming favorites. Now, I still feel like Clippers could win. I still like Philly could win. I still feel like Utah, Phoenix, Denver, Portland, Milwaukee, like, they all have their chances. But at this point, we're all expecting pretty much, assuming the Lakers are healthy, a Lakers Nets finals, with most likely the Nets winning with their additions and all that. Now, if the finals does not have a Nets Lakers matchup, now we get some excitement. Um, but if that's the matchup, then we're gonna expect the Nets to win probably 5 games. So boring. So that's it for today. Please subscribe to my channel and tell everyone about me. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful day.